Good afternoon and welcome to the Monday, August 18th, 2025 Village Council meeting for the Village of Yellow Springs. Judy, if you could call the roll.
Stokes,
I am here.
DeVore Leonard,
Here.
Hausch.
Happy to be here.
Also present is Village Manager Johnny Burns, Finance Director Michelle Robinson, and Solicitor Amy Blankenship. We are expecting Trish Gustafson and Carmen Brown any moment.
Okay. In the meantime, I understand that we do have an executive session, so the chair will entertain a motion and second to move into executive session.
So moved. Second?
All right.
BH, and we do need to state the reason, so do you want to go ahead and do that?
If you could help me with that, I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely. So what we're taking, as I understand it, a motion from you, Gavin, to go into executive session to consider the compensation of a public employee and to consider the appointment, employment, or promotion of a public employee or official, and to consider the purchase of property for public purposes. That's correct, yes, Gavin and
That's exactly what I
Brian.
meant.
Let's do a so moved in a second.
Okay.
Okay, so moved on what Judy just said. Second?
Hey, thank you so much.
All right.
All right, Stokes.
Yes.
DeVore Leonard.
Yes.
Hausch.
Yes.
Thank you.
And welcome back to the Monday, August 18th, 2025 regular council meeting for the Village of Yellow Springs. The chair will entertain a motion and second to enter into a regular session.
So moved.
Second?
Just a voice vote?
Oh, yep. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Leave the room. All right. Thank you, everyone, for your indulgence. Announcements. Anyone have announcements?
I actually, do we have
Oh,
some?
wait, we have guests here?
If you don't mind.
Okay. I'm sensing Greene County.
Good evening. I'm Cheryl Wim with Greene County Public Health. I'm the Director of Planning, Preparedness, and Promotion, and I'd like to share a little overview of our purpose, programs, and services. Our mission is to prevent disease, promote health and wellness, and protect the environment for all residents of Greene County. We provide vital records like birth and death certificates and permits. We ensure Greene County is ready to respond to emergencies that impact the health of the public, collaborating with local, regional, and state partners. We also lead efforts in community engagement, data collection and analysis, health education, and various outreach initiatives, collaborating with local partners to promote health and access to services and resources. Our services touch people's lives from birth through every stage of their life. And I want to share 4 core foundational capabilities and programs that they include. First, communicable disease, which includes communicable disease surveillance and reporting, HIV and STI prevention, education, and testing, tuberculosis testing and treatment, syringe exchange program that promotes harm reduction and services and safety. Second, chronic disease and injury prevention, which includes our Safe Communities program, which promotes traffic safety, tobacco use prevention and cessation programs, creating healthy communities, which promotes healthy eating and active living, and also our naloxone training and access. And thirdly, environmental public health, which offers food protection through inspections, licensing, and training, safe water systems through plumbing, private water and sewage inspections, inspections for pools, spas, schools, body art establishments, residential camps, recreational camps, jails, and detention centers, and other programs like mosquito control, rabies prevention, and nuisance abatement. And fourth, maternal, child, and family health, which includes women, infants, and children, nurse-family partnerships, Help Me Grow, home visiting, early intervention, children with medical handicaps, Family Connects, Cribs for Kids, which promotes safe sleep, infant car seat safety. And the main point of coming is we are currently seeking renewal of our existing 0.8 mil 5-year operating levy, which provides about 44% of our funding. These funds help us maintain critical operations and continue delivering essential services for our communities. And this will be on the ballot this November. In short, Greene County Public Health is here to protect, serve, and support health of every resident in Greene County. Our work is comprehensive, community-focused, and rooted in over a century of public service. We appreciate your continued support for public health, and we ask for your support in November.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot that Greene County Public Health does. I'm even more excited, to vote for the levy now. I'm speaking personally.
Can I, let me just follow up very quickly since I've got a levy related.
Yep.
Just a reminder that your work has been successful, the ballot language was approved, and we are issue number 10.
Yeah, and I just wanted to thank Greene County Public Health for also participating on our Yellow Springs Active Transportation Committee. Jillian Drew has been a big supporter of ours locally, so appreciate the work you do.
Yeah, that's great. And then, so Judy, for the levy information, is it possible we could just get maybe a report from the finance director with sort of what the levy funds, the amounts, just some basic information for a future meeting?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We can do that for next meeting, right, Michelle?
Cool. Any other announcements? Hearing none, regarding...
I do.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I started to bust out initially just to say we've got some plates of banana bread around that anyone is welcome to enjoy. But actually, there's several things that folks asked me to mention, starting with on August 22nd, so that is this Friday, from 7 to 9 at Antioch College's McGregor Hall. There will be a forum on when voices are silenced. It's sort of associated with the past forum about encouraging folks to run for public office. And I've also been told that in parallel, there will be a program for youth. So it's for older and younger folks to be involved in. Wanted to make sure that folks know that our own Mayor Pam Canine is going to be inducted into the Greene County Women's Hall of Fame. We just found that out. Very exciting. If anyone wants more details and would like to attend, let me know. Additionally, if anyone has heard about the Peace Mask project that Pierre Nagley initiated through a grant, 50 villagers were masked, and that actually is being installed today, and that exhibit will be at Antioch College at Herndon Gallery through the 23rd. Having done it myself, it's pretty amazing what I saw that's going to be put up.
Commemorating the...
Yes. Hiroshima,
Right.
yep.
So that's what it is.
Yeah, the 80th year of the...
Commemorating the 80th anniversary of our...
Hiroshima Nagasaki event.
Precisely, yes.
Yeah, and this project started in Japan and has spread throughout internationally. Thanks for highlighting that. And then also, Judith Hempfling from the school board met with our Chief Burge to talk about safe storage, which is related to putting locks on guns to keep everyone safer. And there are going to be some promotional activities in October. I think that's really exciting. And then I want to highlight that the Senior Center did get that Dayton Foundation grant to support their shuttle van. And at our Active Transportation Committee meeting last week, we discussed the next cycle for that grant is October 1st. I particularly want to highlight it because if any council members or citizens have ideas, Johnny and Meg and I have been tasked with coming up with 3 possibilities for a grant. These are up to $10,000. And we've been really successful in the past, so they can be used for any age-friendly oriented activities. The last thing I think is really important to mention, and I wanted to share this with council and the public, is we were informed, Meg and I, of an incident on the trail right between the riding center and the covered bridge where so if everyone doesn't know, horses are allowed on our section of the trail, and motorbikes and what they call Class C e-bikes that can go above 25 miles an hour are not allowed on the trail. So that was the interaction. This individual, it escalated to the point where he was even trying to ram one of the horses. So it was very serious. I talked to Greene County Parks and Trails, the executive director today. He's going to work with us on signage. So I wanted to put out there, if anyone has any ideas about things that we can do to make our trail safer, beyond letting people know that, you know, what is and isn't allowed and speed limits, they're happy to work with us. And also was emphasized that since we own our section of the trail, we can put up signage ourselves. Mm-hmm. So I know Johnny, I shared that with him, and he'll have some ideas, but I wanted to make sure everyone is aware. And lastly, good luck to all of the candidates who were certified for the election. It's going to be an exciting time over these next couple months. Thanks.
Indeed, indeed. Brian and everyone else that had some input on the announcements. We appreciate all that. Thank you very much. Just since there were a lot of levies, I thought I'd throw out at least the two others that I know of. There'll also be a renewal levy for Miami Township Fire and Rescue, and also an additional levy by Greene County Public Library. So there'll be lots of ballot initiatives, lots of candidates, lots of opportunities for us to engage civically when it comes time to vote. So please keep all those dates and all the information we just shared in mind. Again, thanks for everyone's involvement. All right, we're now down to the consent agenda. I have 3 items, first of which being the minutes of the last regular meeting from July 21st, 2025. Can I get a chair? The chair will entertain a motion in a second, please.
So moved.
Second?
All right, all those in favor of approving the minutes from July 21, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, thank you very much. That motion is passed. Next, we have the minutes from our August 1st, 2025 special meeting regarding levy legislation. I will entertain a motion in a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, hearing none, that motion is passed. And finally, the credit card statement for the month of July. Can I get a motion in a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of approving the credit card statement for the month of July, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, hearing none, that motion is passed. Thank you very much for your participation. Now we're down to the review of the agenda. It's where we take an opportunity to take a look at the current agenda as published, consider whether there's anything we wanted to add or subtract from the existing agenda.
I have something I'd like to add. It's consideration of an ordinance to update council compensation per OPR's requirements for the healthcare eligibility. Judy sent a quick memo out. So I just want to have a discussion about whether or not we want to see that come back on the second.
Council?
I think it's very important.
Okay, all right.
Sounds fine to me.
All right, good. So got some momentum there. Judy, can we put that as new business?
Yes?
Okay. All right, thank you, Carmen. Anyone else? All right, hearing none. Other than that one modification, we will continue with the agenda as published. And thank you in advance, Judy, for helping me remember that. Thanks. All right, petitions and communications. Gavin, if you wouldn't mind, please reading our petitions and communications, please.
Yeah, the clerk will receive and file Ann Randolph related to request to reopen Short Street, Johanna Northway with comments about the proposed development and annexation, Marianne McQueen with the flyer about the event that Brian talked about, Matt Raska with the request to address zoning, and the mayor's clerk with the regular monthly reports.
And also on the online agenda, there's also a memo from Meg Leatherman regarding inclusionary, a memo discussing inclusionary zoning. So it didn't make the printed packet, but it was on the online. Okay?
And that was the memo from 24, is that right?
Yeah, that's what Matt was
From April- Was it
referencing.
April last year?
Okay.
Yep.
All right. All right, we are now to public hearings and legislation. And Judy, if you could read by title only, ordinance number 2025-14, please.
This is authorizing the transfer of funds and declaring an emergency.
Can I get a motion in a second, please?
So moved.
Second. All right, Michelle?
So this ordinance is just to authorize the transfers that were presented at the beginning of the year that are being transferred from the general fund. I've listed those, and it comes down to the $1,337,500. Then there's going to be another transfer from the Parks and Recreation Fund to the Capital Improvement Fund for Parks and Rec. Then there's another transfer from the sewer fund into the sewer capital improvement fund.
Okay. Michelle, is there anything like outstanding or atypical involved with these?
Nope, just for
Okay.
operational purposes.
Okay, all right. Council, any questions for our finance director?
Michelle, I just wondered, why are we doing this now?
It was missed.
Okay.
It should have been done at the beginning of the year. I've put it in a calendar for
Okay.
the reminder. As soon as the 2026 is approved, we'll do that transfer right then and there.
Great, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? All right, all those in favor of approving this legislation, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. All right, the motion has passed. Judy, if you could, please read by title only, Resolution Number 2025-44.
43? 44.
Looks like 44 to me.
I will make sure that is correct
Okay,
when I do this, print it off.
all righty.
This is authorizing the village manager to contract with Standard Insurance Company for employee life insurance benefits.
Can I get a motion in a second?
Second.
All right, Johnny, you-
I'm going to defer to, she has more answers than I got.
Okay.
Because a lot of this was done while I was in Light Up Navajo.
Okay.
So I would like for Michelle to fill you in with everything that she knows.
All righty, well, everything will be right.
So during our recent employee health insurance renewal, we brought up to McGowan and Brabender about maybe looking at life insurance. We provide a life insurance policy to all our full-time employees, and we were just trying to see what else might be out there. We didn't think we'd find anything. Of course, they came back after we presented the health insurance renewal to you all, but they actually came back with a slightly lower cost and actually somewhat better benefits, especially for the voluntary life. So some employees can take an additional voluntary life insurance policy. And so this goes, for the voluntary, it would go up to $125,000 versus the $100,000 to start off with. I believe it also covers for the police, public safety officers as well. So, like I said, it came in after we presented the health insurance, but we wanted to present it to you now, showing that it was better coverage, a little lower cost for the village.
The voluntary life is a 125. You can get as much as you want, but 125 with no medical background. Anything above 125, you got to do all the testing.
Great, great.
Where ours is now 100,000. With Unum, it's under the 125.
Yeah, great, sounds good.
Sorry if this was in there, but is this available for council members?
I don't believe so, because you don't have our health care.
Yeah. I didn't think so, but just since we mentioned it earlier, I was like, oh, can we get this too? Okay.
Yeah, the item that we just added to the agenda, maybe when we get to that discussion, we can talk about healthcare and what the, no, we don't want to talk about healthcare?
It's a totally
We're
different
talking
animal.
about-
Okay. All right, any other questions for our finance director? Okay, all right, Michelle, thank you very much, appreciate your help. All right, all those in favor of passing this legislation, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion has passed. We're now down to our last piece of legislation. Judy, if you could read by title only, Resolution 2025-45.
This is authorizing the village manager to apply for a $250,000 grant from Greene County Board of Commissioners.
Can I get a motion in a second, please?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, Ms. Michelle again?
It's me.
Okay.
It's me.
I tried
So-
to get ahead of the curve.
The dollar amount, I would like to actually just leave blank because we're not done filling out the grant. So we're going to try to get the best that we can get. And so this is authorizing us to fill out a grant for the CIG. If you remember, we did this last year. We got it for Springs Way to get electric. This one we want to use for the downtown area to try to help fund a permanent bathroom on the south side of town, Short Street, somewhere in that area. and on top of maybe help do some other things with Short Street if we decide to close it permanently, which we'll bring back something next week and start the conversation on how that's going. But either way, we need a bathroom on the south end of town. This would be a grant to be able to help us do that.
Okay. And you mentioned Short Street a couple of times, so
Yes.
apparently that's the area we're considering.
Well, that's where we have infrastructure at for
Right.
that purpose.
Okay, good.
Now, the reason why we're bringing it back, this is, we're actually, we're doing a lot of in-kind services, but if we follow the flow chart, because this is an ongoing expense for cleaning the facilities and maintenance that requires a council approval for the grant process, and Greene County requires one for a resolution saying that you support the backing for the ongoing expenses.
Okay.
That's the reason why. We thought it was going to be September 9th. I had lunch with Greene County, and the due date is August 21st, and then they talk about it on the 9th. So that is the reason why we're jumping ahead. We thought we had more time, but we don't.
Right. Good, good.
So you've priced out what the facility itself,
Yes.
approximate cost?
About $250,000 is what the ones at the Glens on 343 cost. And if we was to remodel something and do it that way, it'd be about 180 to 190. So we're looking at, we're going to submit as if we're putting a brand new one there.
So this would replace the Porta-Johns?
Absolutely. It was a pilot
Yes,
project.
temporary.
It worked.
Yes, yes.
Porty Pilot. Okay.
So I did want to highlight, just for background, because I think it's important for everybody to know, the community improvement grants are funded by sales tax, of which Yellow Springs generates a lot. And I'm sure we're the highest in the county per capita. So unfortunately, all sales tax goes to the state and then directly to the county. And so then it is up to them to decide if and how they will allocate that. So I think it's great that we're applying for this. And I wanted to make a recommendation, so I guess I'll just make a motion on the resolution. In the second whereas, I thought after visitors, we might say, comma, let me just make sure I've got this, many of whom are Greene County residents, comma. And I thought that would just be a nice way to emphasize that this doesn't just benefit Yellow Springs,
Absolutely.
but the entire county and region.
Good point, Brian.
Brian, would you like to include in that motion removing the 250,000
Yes.
from the caption?
Yes.
And replacing that with community investment grant, for community investment. So it just identifies the grant rather than the grant amount.
Right, right.
Yes, I would like to add all that.
Great wording, Brian.
Thank you.
I'll second that motion. So what's on the table right now is a motion and a second for modifying the title, taking out the dollar amount, putting in the community investment, and to make it say community investment grant as opposed to 250,000. And based on, I'm sure, highly researched data that Brian has access to, adding the comma followed by many of whom our visitors are also residents of Greene County. And- Well, yeah.
I got it.
Many is a good word. Okay. All right. All those in favor of approving those modifications, please indicate by saying aye, please. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. All right, hearing none, the modifications have been approved. Is there any other discussion on the legislation? All right. All those in favor of approving the modified legislation, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. All right, hearing none, the motion is passed. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you very much. All righty, now we're down to citizen concerns. This is the part of the meeting where anyone present physically or virtually can come up to the podium, if you're here, and share your thoughts with council. There will be a 3-minute timer just over my left shoulder. So, yeah, come and speak, if you would, please. Do we have any citizen concerns? Going once? Going twice? All righty. Thank you very much for your consideration. All right, so we're moving on from citizen concerns. Now we're down to special reports, of which we got our financials and our treasurer's report. So, Michelle, I should just sit back and just let you just keep popping up.
All right, so this is slightly delayed, but the second quarter financials. As you can see on the first slide, our revenues are behind by about $829,000, but even though they're behind, we are at 45% collected for 2025. So it's not as scary as it looks number-wise. Each month has trailed the budgeted projection, though actual revenues have been climbing upwards. So they've been following an upward trend. And then we're ready for slide 2. The revenue analysis. As of June 30th, we've collected $7.6 million. As I said, 45% of our budgeted revenue. Our major funds are operating on pace with collections between 51 and 57% in those funds. The timing of receipts explains some of the lower activity in capital and special funds, but overall, revenues are tracking as expected. Then for slide 3, I've moved them around a little bit, so that was grouping the revenues. So now we're going to move to the expense summary. Through the second quarter, actual expenses are at $3.5 million under budget. This reflects payments made so far. It does not include any outstanding encumbrances that we've already committed to for the year. And then on slides 4 and 5, that's the expense analysis by fund. As of the end of the second quarter for 2025, the total appropriations across all funds are at 20.2. That's what we started with. That's what we're projecting. The year-to-date expenditures total $6.6 million of the budget, and an additional $5.2 million in encumbered for future obligations, leaving 8.3 of appropriations unencumbered and available. Then on slide 6 and 7, that's our statement of cash balance. I think it's back one, maybe. The village began the year at $14.1 million. After accounting for the revenues and the expenses, the current balance is close to $15.1 million. After subtracting the encumbrances, the village has $9.85 million in unencumbered cash available. The village remains pretty strong in cash position mid-year. While some funds are restricted in use, the overall unencumbered balance of nearly 9.9 ensures that we're stable for operational purposes and able to meet upcoming obligations. And then the last slide is the bank report. Our cash balance increased from 14.1 at the beginning of the year to 15.1 by second quarter. With an increase of $958,456. In addition, we had $172,016 in interest income during the second quarter, which is pretty good for our investments right now.
Ready. Council, any questions for Michelle on the financial report? Okay.
Motion to approve?
All righty, let's do that.
I'll move to approve the second quarter financial report.
Second.
All righty, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. All right, thank you very much. That motion is passed. Thank you, Michelle. Judy, you're up now with the treasurer's report.
I am. There's some repeated information, some slightly different information. So as of June 30th, 2025, sorry about that typo, the village had under active investment $15,154,596. That's an increase of $479,468 since the report last given in April. And that is derived from combining Star Ohio, Raymond James, and West Banco. Interest on all investments for the second quarter of 2025 was $172,015.87. You've got cash balances as of June 30 listed for West Banco, Raymond James, and Star Ohio, and we're at $15,154,596. And then there's a comparison with 1 year ago, if you are interested. Again, get the interest income as broken out. At West Banco, second quarter, we earned $70,793. Raymond James, $42,672. And Star Ohio, $58,549. And then I gave our cash balances, which you've heard. Brad Drager provided the Raymond James report with information on those securities. And then we've got a comparison of treasury rates that looks very different than your last report. Things have stabilized a great deal despite continued crazy information coming from the federal level. But we are hovering just right around 4.54 without much change. And as of last Thursday, we were at 4.46, and the Star Ohio rate is staying at 4.46 and unless we have any kind of significant drop, and then it will drop with that rate.
Judy, that last note saying, I was going to ask a question about, because I thought there was there was going to be a meeting with West Banco, whether there was a meeting or not. That last paragraph there that says that they are continuing, but are they committed to match Star Ohio?
Star Ohio just follows the federal interest rate. And so since West Banco has said they will match interest rates, what they had done before was they had committed to an amount that would not drop for a period of time. That's what they're not willing to do.
Gotcha.
So they are staying consistent with Star Ohio, which basically means they're about the same in terms of what we're getting on return.
But in general, that's probably just a teeny bit more than what they would normally give us as an interest. West Banco is probably paying a little bit more because they have to match, or they chose to match Star Ohio.
You're not getting that. The average customer for West Banco is not getting anywhere close to that. I mean, it has to do with the fact that this is a fairly sizable chunk of change
Yeah.
that we have invested with them.
Okay. All right. So it's not as good as it used to be, but not as bad as it could be.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any questions for our treasurer regarding the treasurer's report? All right. Do we need to?
Don't need to approve the treasurer's report, just the quarterly financials.
Okay. Well, just for yucks, can we give Judy a thumbs up?
Good job, Judy. I'll take
All right.
it.
Good on you. Good on you. All righty. Manager's report.
All right, so if you look at the manager's report, you'll notice that the first report out of the goals session is in there for an update. We'll do that quarterly, so we can make sure that we're all keeping track of what's going on in the goals and progress moving forward.
And that's a great addition, by the way. Thank you.
Indeed.
Elise worked on that in the goals session, and she said she was going to do that, and she was able to get that done.
Great.
So the auditors are still here. Hopefully they're done. I'm looking at Michelle because she's not for sure either. But they are still continuing to work on the state audit for the village of Yellow Springs and all the staff time. I'll just say that I'm probably the one that has least been affected, but I've been affected. But kudos to the staff and everybody that's been involved, been able to get the documentations, get everything to them, and still make sure that people are getting paid, bills are getting taken care of, budget sessions are happening. So great staff, and couldn't be more thankful for the staff that we have. We'll go back to, next subject is about the work session, so we'll get that one in a few minutes. Since the last council meeting that I was at, we've been out to Light Up Navajo. I want to thank council for allowing us to participate in that, allow me to take It was very hard work physically, but I can tell you mentally, I appreciate the break of about 8 days. I didn't have to worry about nothing. Fantastic Ben, travel agent, a chauffeur. I mean, he almost did everything but tuck me into bed at night, and I complained that he didn't do that. But he did a lot of great work as far as getting it to the point. And even at the last minute, when I was supposed to drive to the airport, I had a last minute family emergency, so we all piled up into his vehicle and he literally drove to the airport. He picked me up at my house. He picked everybody up. So I want to give a great shout out to Ben for organizing. Probably wasn't as great as a mental break from him because he's that focused.
Yeah.
But we had a fantastic time, got a lot of work done, seen a beautiful part of our country that I've never personally been able to see. Turning people's power on that has never had it. Power outage in the village, 15 minutes, we're getting complaints, which is, I understand, I do. Turning the first person on Sunday after we worked for 7 hours, and him telling us that he filled out the application 10 and a half years prior to us turning on his power, it's crazy to me. It's a process, and he's actually the one that had filled out the application at 10 years. Everybody else was past that. We actually, the last one that we hooked up, the mother had power. She was 94. She had just been doing roof work the day before on her roof. And the daughter was in the back. She was actually out of town because she works out of town 4 days a week and then comes back. But to get power to the sister's house, we had to bypass and run by another house that we could have easily picked up. But that's not the process. So literally, the sister could be another year or 2 years. Third job that we hooked up, and I'll stop with this one, and literally 20 feet from the house was a well that the city, or a water line that the city had put in. But they had to travel, now it's an hour and a half off of the mountainside to the highway. And then they had to go 40 miles to get water in a 250-gallon tote in the back of their truck. Water is literally 20 feet from their door, but because they don't have electric, they're not allowed to use it. So you have to have electric first, then you can have water. So the last lady that we hooked up, they was literally digging in her water the day that we was putting in the power. And so they was about a week or 10 days from getting water to that property. The dinner that we had, the lady that had water within 20 feet of her house, she's now on a waiting list, and she could be 3, 4, 5 months, but she knows that it's coming. She said, I literally did not sleep all night long because I kept on going over, turning my light switch on, turning it off, turning my TV on, turning it off. She goes, I was literally charging everything, turning the fan on, and her son was the same way. He was just, so I say all that to say thank you to council, thank you to American Municipal Power, thank you to the APPA, and for the Navajo Nation to accept the generous donation from the village for our linemen to go out there, including myself, and to make a difference and to come back and feel like we truly made that difference. So again, thank you. And we're going to make a complete package of photos. Alex Kraus and Lane Dykeman was with us. I'll bet Alex took over 1,000 photos. Amazing. He's got a phone that's just, I quit taking pictures. I mean, I was at 300 and some pictures. I'm like, I'm stopping. You know, and just, it was an amazing time. We'll have some great photos. Ben will work on getting some photos on different things to be able to see. But they are nowhere near completing. There's still 11,000 homes right now that does not have power. So they are accepting applications in September. So we're just waiting and watching and seeing what's going to happen. We may take a year off, we may ask to come back, we'll get back to you guys on that, but it's just a different place, and for it to be in the United States, it's truly amazing.
Yeah.
So, I won't go into a lot of it. Ohio Magazine, Mayor Pam and I did a walking tour with them. Philip O'Rourke did an application. We was chosen. There's more to come on that. Actually, Elise and Philip are meeting, I believe, next week with the magazine to be able to go further into detail and figure out what all that means for us. Carmen took some amazing photos. She brought the Hardacre Farm to the sewer treatment plant, so if she wants to speak some about that, she can. Touch a Truck was a fantastic time. All the public works and the police and we had State Highway Patrol there. We had quite a few turnout, and it was a great time. Zerg was out there letting the kids pet him and walking around. I want to thank Elise and Brian and anybody else that attended the Cascades while I was out in Navajo for the Phase 1 of Cascades opening. Kevin and I and the staff did a tour of their amazing facility. So I'm glad to see that they're up and running. I think they're actually rented, correct, Brian? Or do you know that for sure? And so it looks like we'll have some more tenants in there pretty soon.
Good.
The fire chief stopped by, talked to Paige, came up and met with me, and so we had some good interactions with the new fire chief, and they're getting some things fixed and turned around there. So there's some pictures of the, just a couple of them off my phone. The fry bread was a personal picture I took for Rose. If y'all know me, my food variety is not very, I'm limited on what I eat. And she says, please try fry bread for me. And I'm glad that I did. I took a picture of it for proof.
Right. Where's the picture with some bites taken?
Well, the guys will have to do that. That's for breakfast, but I can tell you none of that was left.
Okay.
So, police surveys out there, if you can get on there and help us fill out the community survey for the police department, we'd much appreciate it. The stats are in there for you. Planning Commission, they talked about doing some different things with transguest lodging. So we will look forward to seeing some of that. Active transportation, Brian hit on. Building permits, we had 26 of them going through here. Myself, Michelle, and Elise has met with 3 people for budget right now for the 4 people for Public Works and Police, and we're in the process, so there's more to come with that. We had, I wanted to go here, the Afflex deployed monitoring system alerted us of a big leak on Park Meadows, so we was able to get that taken care of. And so far, it's looking like our system is in the good, but we're still trying to figure out where everything's at. So that new system that we have deployed, we will probably not be doing the added leak detection for the next couple of years, because this is a 5-year project and it's actually picking things up and all that. There was a couple of the little things. You guys probably didn't notice it, but the crew, we had a regulator go bad in the switch station, so the crew was able to do that in a heated position, and that's pictures of it right there. We actually had 2 spares, so now we're down to 1. We're going to send the other one back in for repair. Then we have the dog fountain, so Carmen's able to keep her dog. We was able to repair the,
I'm not gonna take your.
we was able to repair the dog bowl. It was a broken piece in there. So
The problem is that she thinks she's a pig. That's the problem.
Yeah, she identifies as a pet.
Yeah, if there's
Yes.
any mud at all, she's rolling.
So Then the concrete in front of Dayton Street, Railroad Street parking lot, I will say that is not a new drive apron if anybody thinks it is. That is going to be for a picnic table and some benches to where people can enjoy a place to eat on that side of town as well. It is not a new concrete apron going into the gravel parking lot. So we're not losing any parking spots on Dayton Street.
Might want to repeat that.
Yes, we are not losing any parking spots on Dayton Street. The Little Art had a fantastic event, unveiling the marquee. I'm venturing to say there's probably 400 people on Short Street.
It was like a New Year's Eve.
Inside, I mean, it was a great time, had a great event. It was good weather and a lot of good fellowship, and we look forward to more of those community events. And actually, we had one the night before. We actually have some scheduled every Thursday down there for music with the Community Foundation. There is another one for the Meals, Free Meals. They're doing a big donation thing down there. I think that is August 30th on a Saturday. They're
You mean
doing a
Who's Hungry?
benefit. Who's Hunger is doing a benefit down there to try to raise donations. And we've had some other inquiries about using Short Street. So
Yeah, have I heard about some weddings?
well, there was one wedding down there and a reception. Well, the wedding was on the bridge, but the reception was at Short Street. There's actually some parent teachers kind of conference thing or something with the schools. They're utilizing that space as well. So feel free to go down there and check it out. Fantastic artwork on the temporary barricades there, done by our Travis Hoteling, meter reader, part-time, full-time artist. So he's doing a fantastic job. Mary's Way, we had an apron put in there, ADA compliant, where people can get on the bike path and go down to Drury on Mary's Way. Pool is coming to a close soon. I know that's sad news for Judy.
Are we doing the dog swim?
Absolutely, and I will get that information for when that is. We'll make sure we get that posted.
Cool.
And then on the back, we are up on Facebook followers, but one thing I want to highlight is the YS Connect is now at 1,344 people downloaded it. That is 547 since the last report. And we have surpassed what we had on Civica Plus for over a year. So if you don't have it, you're behind times and you need to catch up.
It's true.
And we got one today, and I will not tell Jesse, but Jesse, she finally got it.
All righty.
So thank you all, and if you have any questions, let me know.
On that note, questions?
A
for the
few,
manager?
yeah. So I wonder, Johnny, why do customers have the option to opt out of water meter changes?
Some of them are worried about the
Radio frequency.
radio frequency. We are going to have to bring legislation back for the charge. Some of them are worried about the radio frequency in their house. There's both sides. And we have a couple that simply refused for us to be able to change out even the electric meter. So we need to be able to bring back something to council so there's going to be an extra charge if they choose to opt out.
Okay. And then, one of the things I wanted to emphasize that related to the Little Art marquee dedication is that we now have, they're temporary, but two really awesome sidewalks that are very visible. And
absolutely.
yeah, and Johnny and I talked at the event about looking at doing more of that. For those of you, you've probably seen in different places, rainbow sidewalks. Johnny had the idea of books at the library. So I am really excited about that, and I
Yes.
think it would make a big difference for safety as well to do more of that. And the fact that we basically did it it was done in a day, right?
It was done in a very long day, but yes, that is on temporary paint. It will wear off. The permanent is still there, but it's probably going to be there for a month or so. But they had a lot of hard work because they did use temporary paint, and they don't have temporary paint set up to take on that bigger job.
Yeah.
That was literally done with rattle can marking paint.
Yep. Wow. Yeah, no, I saw it
Fantastic.
started, and I was like, what are they doing? Yeah. And then a few things about planning, and one or two of these questions might be for Amy, but I think it's really exciting that Meg is working on the long-range transportation plan and being involved in that committee. She also has shared that Safe Routes for All, which is one of the major funding sources now for walking and biking infrastructure. She's involved in that planning effort as well. And one that I think to add that we should all be aware of is the Community First Energy Plan. So this is what Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission is doing to move forward not only environmental sustainability, but lowering costs for people, jobs, resilience, and so forth. And I'm sure that's on your radar. And then I wanted to throw in there, I'd love for staff and or planning commission to think about more about cool roof technology or roof. I know that it's something that came up, I believe, with the Windsor project. And I've been hearing a lot lately about municipalities passing ordinances around this. It seems to make a huge difference. And so I guess, Gavin, that's for you too, to kind of think about how we could pursue it. And then I had a question about the transient guest lodging proposed changes. So Johnny or Amy or whoever, any proposed changes would come back to council since that's policy, right? Okay. And then since we spent a lot of time working on that policy, I want to make sure its integrity remains. And then also, I appreciated that the zoning, potential zoning updates were highlighted in general. I know that was talked about at Planning Commission. Of course, we got the letter from Matt. And then I assume the same thing there, right? Any proposed changes would ultimately come to council, right? Because we always do
I
those
believe
text
so.
changes.
Yeah, those would all be text amendments. So
Okay.
They just make a recommendation to council.
Yes.
It comes to you.
Okay. I thought that was true. I just wanted to make sure, because I know some things don't come back to us, but cool. Thanks.
Okay, I forgot one thing because it was in the report, but it did not get in the report. If you've noticed a change, like everybody in the state of Ohio has noticed a change with their electric bill, it is not that the village raised any rates. It's actually that the PJM market has raised the rates for capacity. I have given you all a memo. It's at your desk. We'll make sure that we're going to do social media posts on it, try to explain it. But I wonder if, I'm not the expert on capacity charges, I'll be the first one to say. If we would like to have AMP come back, that is the expert to explain the reason this is, actually I sent this memo to AMP and to John Courtney to ask them if this was accurate, and they said it was. But basically, the market is driving for the plants, the coal plants got shut down, the new power plants ain't on. They're trying to figure out the big loads for the data centers, and they're trying to make sure that that's covered. And because of that, they have to put so much more money back into the grid. And so the grid is not, it's falling behind. So therefore, the capacity auctions are costing more. And so everybody in Ohio is seeing it. I will tell you that we're not as high as everybody else, because what we generate, we don't have to. So we have some solar, we have some houses that have solar. We don't get capacity charges for homegrown power. Whereas if we're not in the AES region, and we're in First Energy. First Energy has doubled, if not tripled, their prices on capacity. So we're not in a good market, but I mean, we have some breathing room on our end. You will see the cost added on the power cost adjuster. So you'll notice that that has went up, and that is not, we don't control that, that is controlled by the market.
Okay. Go ahead. I was going to query council. Do we feel like we want to have AMP come in and give us a deeper dive on this?
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think our citizens would like to hear about it too, yeah.
What's the timeline that because AMP, they typically come in annually and give us, so I mean, do we want to just have them
We
address
can.
it when they address the?
Yes, the market, you've already noticed the change starting in June, and we just now got the memos from AMP and all that, but we can hold off, and when they come to do their yearly, because this has an overall effect on the next years to come. So they're having to change their projection based on the market, on the PGM market.
Since it wasn't is it okay to just, so it's the $9 more per month or $100,
It's
$108 more annually for the average household?
That is based on 875 kilowatt hours, yes.
Which may or may not be average.
Yeah.
Correct. I can check, Gavin. What I'll do is I will ask Craig when they're coming in to do the yearly, and I will let you know next council meeting. If I feel it's too far out, then we'll try to get them in sooner,
Okay, I think that's
and
good.
maybe they can come in and talk to us.
Okay, good. Sounds good. Any other questions for the village manager?
Yeah, I just had a quick check-in. The Windsor project at the student union, just, excuse me, just checking in. I know we're expecting a final development plan at some point, and there was hope that we might get something worked out with the road opening, so just
Gavin,
checking.
can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Kevin, might I suggest you step down from the dais?
Oh, good point. Sorry.
Alrighty then.
Since Kevin's recused from this matter, it's
Yes, sorry about that.
See you, bye.
Man.
Thank you, Amy.
I'll just be out in the hallway.
Okay.
There's not a no loitering sign out there, so I'll just be out there.
I think you got it. Just checking in to see if there's any updates.
I've sent Dr. Fernandez some emails concerning the roadway on bringing it back into the village. She's been excited about it in meetings, and I'm not getting as much movement as I'd like, but we are in conversation, so I will follow back up and see where we stand.
Okay. It seemed like something we all felt, we're interested in, so if we haven't figured it out soon, I guess maybe we could send a note or something, just say, hey, we're really glad to see the support we heard the support from everybody, so hopefully we can get it figured out, so we're all,
Okay.
is that?
Yeah,
Sound
I
ideal?
definitely want to underscore that, and I mean, I'm getting calls, texts, emails regularly from citizens asking, what's the status, so.
Okay.
I'm sure we all are, probably.
I'll follow up tomorrow with an email and get back with you. Okay?
Cool, thanks.
We can bring Kevin back.
Kevin,
Kevin,
did he go far?
did you hear us?
He's out. He's like, you know what?
He's like, I'm going.
I'm gonna super recuse myself.
He's like, the last time you made me leave, it was for hours.
Right?
Guys, we're here laughing it up. I feel like I missed out. So, we're wrapping up now, the village manager's report. Any other questions for the village manager regarding his report? All right. Thank you very much, Johnny, for all that information, and thank you, council, for your participation. We have no old business, but we do have two new business items. First of which is in my bailiwick. It's a review of the agenda for the August 20th work session. I feel like I will just introduce this, and then maybe I'll ask Professor Blankenship to come up and say a few things. But On this coming Wednesday, August 20th, from 5 to 7, here in council chambers, we will be discussing tax increment financing and community reinvestment area. There'll be an overview and discussion of those tax incentive mechanisms. There are currently no such mechanisms in effect in the village. So this is a discussion about the possibilities, primarily educational, hence a reference to Professor Blankenship. So we look forward to her coming and sharing. Amy, do you mind filling in if there's anything else additional you'd
Sure.
like
Well, I
to
couldn't
say?
have said that any better myself, except it will not be me. It will be another attorney from my firm, Tyler Bridge, who is a public finance attorney. And Tyler will be here to give council an overview of both TIFs and CRAs and answer any questions that you might have.
Okay.
Is there going to be a packet or materials or anything prior to that?
He is preparing a PowerPoint, though I'm not sure where we left that in terms of a packet.
There will not be a packet. I have a memo and an agenda that will be sent to you tomorrow, and then I'll have it at the table, and then Tyler's just bringing the PowerPoint to present at that time.
So there wasn't, I didn't miss it, there wasn't an agenda. We haven't seen the agenda yet, right?
It's
Something in the packet.
Yeah.
Where
If you go,
is it?
if
It was
you go to
right
the
before the
online-
manager's report.
If you go to the online,
It's for brief.
Yeah, it's like 2.
yeah, it's very short.
So
I found it by going to the online agenda.
Oh, okay,
There we
but
go.
I thought this was just like a blank one. So do we have a, so it's 2 hours, right? And then, so for example, I think the main question is there citizen comment or not? And if not, then is there, should people send us, just if you have thoughts on these issues, then send them to council?
I mean, it's informational, and it may or may not result in council saying, okay, well, then at our next meeting, let's talk about the possibility for bringing legislation for something, but there are multiple next steps. So it's this, there's no comment made during this meeting, then it moves to a regular council meeting where you decide what next steps you want to take, and then legislation comes, and so then there'll be several points at which folks could weigh in.
Okay. I guess I feel like it's at least worth saying. I know there was one letter in the news. I don't, you know, many people have made comments or asked about it as it pertains to the Unity Village, the student union project. Sorry. But just, I mean, what someone just said, we haven't done anything. We haven't done it. There is no, I think it's fair, is we've never done anything as a community, right? So this is legitimately us learning about it. Community learning too, so just so everybody's clear. So, but we're not talking about that particular development, we're talking about, because we're just learning about this, how to approach it. That's the main idea, okay.
Because it could also be used for Springs Way and CVE and things like that.
Could be used for anything, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Well, there may be an element of it where Tyler can speak specifically to Windsor. In fact, I think that there is the intention that he will do so,
Okay,
specifically to the Unity Village development.
okay.
So kind of related to that, I mean, Johnny, is there any kind of feel for a timeline? Like what, I mean, when are we trying to make a decision about if we're going to bring these tools into the mix?
Can we ask Kevin to step out again?
Yes.
Can I just plug my ears? All right, I'm gonna step out.
Step out that way if you would.
It's a shorter trip, just not.
Will do.
It would be nice to have a decision and have it in place before January 1
Okay.
for the area surrounding Antioch College.
So then I might recommend that on Wednesday, we do leave a little bit of time to like indicate whether or not we want to move forward as a majority, because I have a laundry list of things that I realize we're not ready yet for this meeting, but, you know, I want to start like understanding like, you know, things like when Antioch owned the property, we got no revenue. Now the Windsor owns the property, we've got some, and then when it gets developed, and so some of those kinds of things. But anyway, just,
And I think Tyler will be able to explain every bit of that to us.
okay, great.
But as far as that particular, it would be nice to have, if we're doing something, to be able to give a deadline or a date that we know it would be in effect or not in effect.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
This reminds me, I've been meaning to say this for weeks. I think some of this also interconnected with some of that growth conversation.
Yes.
And so just, I know you were out and stuff, but if we could set up that, schedule a meeting so that we could talk about, because I think some of those questions around like, how does this stuff affect our taxes and how does it affect our infrastructure? There's like an interrelated nature to these things. So,
And was that with you and
I
Carmen?
think it was Carmen and I, yeah.
Okay.
This was the member, not committee.
Right.
But just, we had that laundry list of things,
Yes.
and then, but I think some of them, there's a connection to this, so it'd be worth having
Okay.
more information, yeah.
I will have I'll have
Yeah.
Cameron send out an email with some dates and times to where we can, Michelle, myself, and Elise. Do we want to call him back, just to put him back out again?
He's like a cat. Yeah, let me in.
Are you sure? I had to open the other door because it's a sauna in there. Yeah, so that'll be Wednesday, August 20th at 5 o'clock. That you all will be talking about this stuff. And yeah, Amy and I made eye contact and we talked about your colleague going into specific details on Wednesday. Yeah, I'll be happy to.
To recuse. And remember that when council members have to recuse due to a conflict of interest, it is not required that you leave the room. You can
Right.
stay in the room if you'd like and hear the information being shared.
That's what I used to do, just stay in the room until these last couple of, I mean, I didn't want to just sit out there for like as long as some of these things took. So, yeah, I'm still traumatized by some of those. But you're right, yeah, and yeah, for something like that, I can't just step aside. Anything else on the special meeting for Wednesday? And so we'll see all of us here plus some, okay? So the next new business item, this started, this conversation about increasing council stipend. Brian, I will say that I've wanted to do something like this for years, back even when you were president, and it wasn't about everybody, it was just giving the president just a smaller, or just a little bit different of a stipend. And I wanted to do that on my way out from council as you were, because I know, those who vote the action in can't take advantage of it in that cycle. So I felt, if I made a big stink about it, fine, it's got my fingerprints all over it, but I'm leaving. But then it morphed into, all of council perhaps having an increase in the stipend. I will say, as I alluded to earlier, there are 4 levies on the ballot, one of which is additional, for additional millage, and it's for the library is a 1 mil additional, and the library levies tend to pass. So I was just thinking about, well, is it a good look right at this time to be talking about increasing our stipends when we're also asking for these renewal levies in addition to the additional levies? There's a clock that matters in terms of when any legislation is passed and when certain council folks can take advantage of it. But again, then they started the OPERS portion of it sort of came in. And so it has grown into a much bigger conversation. So in general, I think there's no harm in talking about it. I just did not want, I didn't feel good about us, giving ourselves more money. It wouldn't be ourselves in my case, or Trish.
Or mine. Or
Eventually,
Gavin's.
well, but depending on what your future
Eventually,
plans
we
are.
decide to
Yeah,
run again,
depending on what
right.
your future plans are. Because, oh, by the way, when I leave, I'm not coming back. So it definitely will not impact me. So,
So you're saying if you vote in, we as a group voted in a change, everyone who sits does not get the
No.
change?
And we-
you can take advantage when you are re-elected,
No
when you are new.
midterm, no midterm, so, okay.
Yeah, so,
midterm.
so the next time, because I hope you would continue to run, so the next, if we made the change now, you could take advantage of it, and Judy, correct me if I'm wrong, the next time each of you is re-elected. So I think the rationale is, you can't vote for something and then put the money in your pocket. You have to go before the public and say, do you still want me back? And then when you come back, then you can take advantage of the changes that were made in your previous term.
But the people who would be new,
So, that's another consideration. Any new people who come on, and there could be 2 to 3 new people, there's always 3 seats every odd number of years, so there's always potential for 3 new people. That's where a timing conversation comes in. Do we want to make the change, so that those 2 to 3 new people could take advantage of it? I think, I'm not comfortable rushing it just for that.
Well, let's kind of change the narrative here. So we're talking about it like it's a raise and we're just increasing our stipend. And that's really not as simple as that. It has to do directly with what we pay in to OPERS, right? And a lot of municipalities do not even pay a stipend that's big enough for their elected officials to take advantage of the Ohio Public Employees Retirement System. So when we see the numbers from some municipalities are like $300, that's just that municipality saying, your retirement, do it on your own, figure it out. The minimum for us to get the credit for retirement is $734 now. And so that's why that's the set stipend amount. What I'm proposing is that it's an increase of like $260 to get us to the medical credit. Now, which helps access OPERS health insurance services. They don't have insurance themselves. What that does is, we're not gonna, the only people, we're not gonna qualify for it. But what new people would and incumbents would.
You're saying new people would and incumbents would, under what
And
circumstances?
the incumbents would if they won.
meaning like Brian's on the ballot.
Right.
If Brian wins again, because he would have been voted in after that,
It's a new term. But. And the reason why this is kind of pressing is because we have 60 days before the election to make the decision.
Well, the insurance is separate. I mean, that's really based off of negotiations and the hours that you put in, that you negotiate with the provider.
No, that's not, can you speak to this,
So I
Amy?
believe, Carmen, what you're speaking to is the availability to PERS insurance in retirement.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
And what happens is, say we're not on council for 85 years or 30 years, that's okay. If you decide that you want to keep your PERS in there, that's great. You're not going to, and if you find something else to do, you're not going to be paying into it. But if you decide to cash out, what you would have earned, with the retirement health insurance piece, they don't have their own health insurance. You can get on a health, like a health care credit card thing, or health care credit, something. It sounded way better when I was by myself. just so everybody knows. I'm brilliant in the
Unless they
closet.
change it again, they constantly.
Can I add
Yeah, help it.
Yeah, please do.
background piece? Okay, so I was here when Judith Hempfling was the council member.
Is that 13?
Yeah, so she first proposed that, so that we could qualify for retirement, that we needed to have small increases annually so that we stay qualified. So it notches up a little bit. I did not realize until you brought this up that the retirement medical insurance was on a separate track. But I think it's really important to remember that this isn't about like a bump in, the pennies an hour that we get. It's about trying to encourage and support people to run for office. And that's the way Judith presented it, and it was really compelling, and I agree it's a small thing. I think right now, my last statement said, when I retire, I'll get $39 a month or something.
Right.
So, but it's a small thing, but each of those small things help so that you don't have to be wealthy and retired, for example, to run for office. It's similar to why Laura Curlis wanted to make the health insurance plan available to council members. And so that's why, when you asked to add it onto the agenda, I think it's really important that we do these small things so that we have a diverse council, and so that young people and folks of all different economic backgrounds can feel better about running for office.
Yeah, and we
So-
got the comparison chart, and the thing that the comparison chart told me, and this just because I'm a cynic, is that you're gonna do this for $300 a month or $200 a month that you can put in your pocket, and it's not going towards your future at all, and that's it and that's all. But what Judith did and what council did in 2013 was to add the PERS.
Right.
And, that's, and to, incentivize kind of people running, but also, that just goes to show how, I always talk about how special we are, whatever, we know how I feel about Yellow Springs. But that really goes to show, case in point, how special we are. And how we do things a different way, and usually a better way,
Yep,
in my humble opinion.
agreed.
And so, what it means is that we won't get the bump, and then only 3 people will get the bump. Me and Gavin won't get the bump unless we run again, and then we'll get it if we win. And if we don't, then we'll just never see it.
And the bump is from roughly, we get, right now, it's about $7,200 a year to,
You have the,
What
it'd
is
be like
the-
about 266 extra per
Right
person.
now, you guys are
before tax, you're saying?
8,800.
8,800, okay, sorry.
Before tax, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before tax. And then it would jump you to, if you did that, it would be 12,000 a year.
Okay, so like 3,000 a person in
Roughly
time,
10,000.
5,000 times 5, so like at the most 15,000, eventually,
Eventually.
after a cycle, 15,000 a year. And a a modest benefit for council members for the long term.
Well, and one of the things that I want to kind of stress, if you, like, I have old PERS money from when I worked at ODJFS. It's sitting there, and it's not, I guess it is now, but if you decide to, you can, cash it in or whatever, then it's a little something extra for if you want to take a trip, or you can leave it there. It's just, It's nice to have that. It's nice to have it.
Yeah. Well, so I think what we're deciding is if we're going to put this
If
on a
we're gonna
future
put it on- It
agenda?
has to be September 2nd, right?
Well,
It does have to be September 2nd if you wanted to take effect for the next, for the incoming members that will be elected this fall, because there's language on our charter that says that you may change your current salary for succeeding councils and no fewer than 60 days prior to a regular municipal election.
It would need to be done in emergency.
And so we'd be having to do it, say that again?
Oh, I just said it. I said it should say stipend, not salary.
And what did you, I wanted you,
It would need to be done as an emergency.
yes,
so it
and we'd be
takes
doing
effect.
this as an emergency. And the way it would actually come to council would be as a red-lined codified ordinance, because 252.02 has codified that council members shall make the minimum required by state law to be eligible for PERS.
And the minimum required by state law is kind of tricky, because it's like, what state law? I mean, we know that it's, I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be
The law
specific.
that sets OPERS. And that, the problem is it says
Yeah,
shall
it says
be
to
the
provide the
minimum.
elected official 1 month of OPERS credit, service credit for every
Gotcha.
month served.
Okay, cool, okay.
Well,
So
I
that's
sup-
what we would redline.
Yeah, well, I support making that decision at our next council meeting.
So we need some stuff on the second. Is anybody else, like, how do you feel?
I mean,
Yeah, I'm totally game.
I think we should still discuss it, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
yeah,
should.
feel about, yeah.
Yeah, the only other question I would have would just be, you mentioned it sort of being an indication of how special we are. Like, is this it feels to me like, Brian, you said, like, it's pennies on the dollar. Like, I don't think anyone does this because this is gonna make or break your.
Well, it is. But if you look at the comparison chart that Judy sent along, you see that it's like $300, $200.
Yeah.
For a lot of other.
Okay, no, I didn't see, so there was a chart attached to the, okay, cool, I'll take a look at that. We just got an email
got it,
about it.
yeah, this
An
afternoon.
hour ago. And I don't, when I say make or break, I just mean, I have never had any indication that anybody doing this is doing it for any other reason than
Oh.
a care about public service. Not like.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that would be the only thing. So if there's already a chart, I will look at the chart.
okay.
I also think that, health insurance should be something that's considered as well. So,
And then the health insurance, Brian, you used the phrase on a different track. For health insurance, there's a hard,
30 hours.
oh,
But that's health
But
that's-
insurance, that's not PERS.
no, I know, that's what I was
Okay.
distinguishing.
Yeah, yeah.
So, no, it's 30 hours because that's what's negotiated, right? So that's what, you can reduce that down to make it
jacks
for
the
elected
cost up
officials.
Exponentially.
No, it doesn't. It didn't increase anything when I did
Really?
it before.
So that was just-
So,
that
I
was
did it
so
every
true.
year.
And that seems like it could be
Maybe we should
significant
explore again.
Right.
for health
So
insurance.
it's not,
Yeah,
yeah.
They won't do it.
I actually think we made a decision to allow that, but anyway.
So how do we feel about the second? About bringing some of them back on the second? So I heard a yes from Brian
yep.
and Trish.
So that would make us like the township is?
Not at all.
No. Well, I don't, in that one regard.
What do you mean by like the township is, in terms of how much
It's the
salary they
stipend
make?
and stipend.
Township trustees make, their salary is set by statute, and it's tied to the, I'm sorry, not the population, the budget of the township. So it's totally different when you're talking
Okay.
about a
So
municipality.
what if ours was tied to the budget of the village? How about that?
The village couldn't afford to pay us.
It wouldn't be that high. I mean, I guess it would. So are we talking about two pieces of legislation, repeal, replace, and a resolution, or you want to drop it all in the ordinance? We can figure it out. but-
TBD, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, good. We'll get some legislation. And again, it sort of started, and I'm glad it's sort of taken on a life of its own. But it was sort of my idea to sort of do like a parting gift, to try to do something to make you all's lives better. Any other discussion on that point? Everybody has their marching orders in terms of what I know to be determined what actually comes back, but
It'll, at the very least, it'll be a redlined 25202. One way or another, that ordinance will change. What Judy's alluding to is, we had briefly discussed the possibility of also actually having council set their salary by resolution, so that every time it gets adjusted in the future, it doesn't have to be a codified ordinance rewrite. That council could amend it by a resolution. So we'll see.
okay. All right. Well, there will be discussions. All right, anything else on this before we move on to board and commissions? Gosh, is it that meeting of the month? Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah. Board and commission reports, anything needs to be highlighted?
I have stuff, but I have nothing right now.
I acknowledge that.
Yes, I have it, but I don't.
Understood. Go ahead, Gavin.
I'll just use this as the reminder for everybody, commissions, that the budget process will be coming soon, the requests, so we're really trying to stick to the process, so just know.
October 1st is our first meeting?
Yeah, and there'll be a request form coming around, so just know if you're gonna put in a request, this is the time to do it. Coming up soon.
Oh, I don't have the report, but I got the money part.
Okay.
Money part.
We did not set a deadline for that yet.
I think, did we set that?
We did not.
Did we set the deadline?
We said we were going to.
It is.
September 2nd.
Yes.
September the 2nd?
We need to send it out to,
Okay.
But that is for events.
Yes.
So I'm not
Talking
sure
about the
when we
budget.
had, when we had
Council
commission stuff.
Budget.
But I think that if it
council
happens
initiative.
The budget.
early on, if you get it early in October, we're good. Like,
Okay, so let's just pick a final date and then we'll send around. The form was getting discussed at the last finance committee meeting.
Right.
So this is just continuing to remind us so that nobody's like, I didn't know, it's coming.
Can we just pick a date for the council initiatives requests? I mean, let's just do it
Were
now,
you just saying
right?
early October? Should we just say October 1st?
Well, isn't that the
Commissions.
October 1st is a
Commissions.
scheduled?
Council initiatives is September 2nd. Michelle's getting everything, or not, I'm sorry, events is getting sent out.
Yeah.
Visual
What is
folks.
going on?
I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but we were talking about that form where if I'm like,
correct, supporting the cause.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's going out.
okay, so
there's-
you're going to pick a date when it goes out?
There's the thing for all of us, for council, right? Like meaning council members saying, hey, I'd like to put $1,000 in the budget for water bottles.
Yes.
And then there's events, which is separate, and then there's council commissions.
Okay, but what I thought we were talking about, what I was saying was that the money part, I'm working on that part. I was talking about like the stuff we're doing. And then it morphed into,
Well,
make sure, I don't know what's going on.
It's not clear. So, all right, so events, commissions, whatever, that's easy. What we are talking about, I think, is if Home Inc. wants to ask for some funding, what is the date to do that? And then I know we want to have a council support of that. I do not remember we picked a date.
We did not.
We
Our
did not.
first council work session is October 1st.
Okay.
So why don't we make it the 22nd of September? We need to
Well-
have those.
Maybe, I don't know how you let people know that because,
We'll explain it on next council meeting. We'll bring it and explain it, and then council will have the forms.
Okay.
It gives them 20 days to get them turned around.
And is that then when commissions would be due to?
Sure.
Okay. Because I'm just saying, last year we were getting this stuff the day of the budget meeting. We were getting this stuff the second budget meeting.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
All righty, closing board and commission reports?
None of that had any reference to your thing. I was just, before we end commissions.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's nothing documented to discuss regarding board and commission, so future agenda items. Okay,
adding the ordinance.
August 20th threw me off. I was like, what meeting is that? But, yeah. Okay, I'm good.
we're adding to 5202, repeal and replace, potentially a resolution. We may be adding a resolution accepting amounts and rates. Still in process with Michelle on that. We are doing it? Okay. Excellent. OPWC grant applications?
Yes.
Okay. And that's what we got for now.
Did PWC, that's not what you were referring to earlier.
CIG.
Okay, good.
Now we're bringing one for OPWs.
Okay, all the Cs and Gs, okay. All right, anything else for, regarding future agenda items? Yes.
Yeah, I guess just to put on the agenda, or, just on the radar, that we should circle back in about the, like, staff evaluation, compensation, timeline stuff. So I don't know, like, maybe the second meeting of September or something, so that we've had a chance to kick something around a little bit. Just to keep a placeholder, and then maybe next meeting we could check in if that timing feels relevant.
Yep. Yep.
I'd also like to bring back September 2nd for job description change for the project lead with AVM
Okay.
Mhm.
for council.
Yep, good catch, we all agreed. Well, good catch. You're good at catching things tonight. All right, anything else for the good of the order? The chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Hey.
We are adjourned.